something so beautiful that I promise you, you will not be able to explain it to others. It's just an amazing, beautiful feeling. Hello, hello, lovely, and welcome to another episode of Loving Life with Court. Today, we are talking about a life that is loved, but you will never be like them. So let's explore what I mean by that. Let's dive into today's episode. First of all, if you are watching on YouTube, welcome to my new studio. It is officially almost complete, almost done. And I have to tell you, it's very much sparked my interest in today's topic, which is all about competition versus inspiration. And I will start with this little story. When this idea came to me to build the studio in my home, I first went and started looking at all of my favorite podcasts that were on YouTube, all my favorite podcasters. And I was immediately comparing my own vision to everybody else's. I was like, I didn't think of this. I didn't think of that. Oh, I want mine to have that. Mine should have this. And what I realized along this journey is that you can get so much further in life and become a much more happier person and just really enjoy every part of your life and your journey when you can remove competition and replace it with inspiration. So that's what today's episode is all about. We've all heard the expression, for myself, I've heard it from a very young age, to stop trying to be like others, or be you because everybody else is taken, or don't be a follower, be a leader, blah, 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 whatever it is. And I think these expressions can make us feel even smaller, and it's not really the best reality check to feel confident enough in making our own decisions, being our own person, and embracing every facet of who we are. So what we're going to go into today is going back to, like I said, how we can take this programmed mind of where we automatically go into comparing ourselves to others and competing with others, and instead taking this competition perspective and shifting it to inspiration. When you compare yourself to the so-called successful people, the people you deem as successful, it could be different for every single person, it can feel like you haven't done a thing. And I'll give you an example. I was watching a TED Talk about it the other day, and this guy just gave such a perfect example on why comparing yourself to others and being in competition with others actually slows you down. And he said, think about an Olympic swimmer and consider if he were to raise his head above the water to see where his opponents were, what would happen is that it would essentially just slow him down. So what he has to do is not worry about the people that are around him, but worry about where he is and becoming better than every last attempt that he had done. So this is kind of where the direction of today's going to go, is why it's so powerful to focus on yourself before you focus on others. And we're also going to touch on some other little things, but that's really the main focus. To look at it at an even deeper perspective, letting go of just focusing on yourself, what if you saw success itself differently and how you describe fulfillment and what you really were attracting in your life? What if you were able to celebrate the person who is driving next to you with 3 kids in their car and smiling and singing along to the radio, knowing that parenting is a very hard job, and today that person chose to spread love and patience to their children? The person maybe who opened the door for you because today they chose kindness in a world that can be full of hate. What if the people you compared yourself to, now we're going to go back to this comparing and competition, what if the people you compared yourself to no longer was to compete with them, but to be inspired by them? Because being rich is one thing, and I think when many of us consider success, and compare yourself to others, it has a lot to do with the status, financial status that they have and the wealth that they have. But what if we can look at richness and wealth in a whole different perspective? So being rich, having wealth, the way that the general society defines it is fine. It's good. Being so-called successful is great. But to be inspired by good people instead of people who you think just have it all together because of their status and finances, but to be inspired by good people, that is when your life turns from competition to inspiration. And to take this even deeper, when it comes to manifesting, we talk a lot about vibrations. And when you have good qualities, when your energy is pure, when your energy is sacred, your vibrations are higher. You're no longer filled with hate. You're no longer filled with guilt. You're no longer filled with shame. And these are the lowest frequencies that you can feel. And when you're able to increase your vibrations and really take the focus away from finances, like money, and looking at wealth in a different perspective, a wealth of love, a wealth of happiness, everything kind of falls in together. It's like dominoes, really. So really think about this whole perspective of what I'm sharing with you as the goal when you're inspired by others or inspired by yourself is not to become rich, is not to become so-called successful, but it's to become a good person, to cherish the simple things in life so that when great, amazing things come in abundance, you have a complete different appreciation for it. And really how I can put this is life is not about getting to a certain point. It's about being happy in that process and to appreciate the moments that are small and joyful. So let's get to the science of all this. Research tells us that the more we compare ourselves to other people, the less happy we are. And I think we all knew that. But essentially what this does is it just makes us insecure. It makes us insecure in our abilities. It makes us doubt who we are as a person. It makes us doubt our ability to be successful or be fulfilled or whatever you really want in life. And it makes you feel undeserving of a good life and undeserving of protection and peace and safeness. And it's really not about what other people are doing, but by each and every day actively working towards mental clarity. And this is where I'm all getting to, is everything stems back to the clarity that you have in life and what is actually important to you. And to achieve this mental clarity and really understand who you want to be, that's basically the foundations of mental clarity. You have to become inspired by the love and kindness that surrounds you every day. This inner peace that we all are deeply craving, but we think that it is something else. We think that it's our finances, but really we just want to be comfortable and not have to stress. We really want that inner peace. We think it's about getting love or getting loved by someone, but it's really that inner peace of feeling safe and comfortable with the people that surround you. And how can we get to that with mental clarity? And how can we get mental clarity by appreciating all of the small moments that bring us joy and happiness? There's beauty in balancing gratitude for who you are and growing to the person you want to be, and not becoming, but growing, because you already are that person. There's just a lot of blockages, trauma, walls up that's preventing you from being the person that you know you can and that you really are. And how you can start this, I'll say it again, is each small moment of kindness or love that you encounter adds to your growth, while your future self's image pushes you to embrace more of those moments. So inspiration, what happens when you are able to do this is inspiration begins to flow from both directions. The present fills you with joy, and the future version of yourself gives you purpose. So because you constantly have this joy coming into your life, you're appreciating the moments, you begin to align with that inner self where you crave that peace that we all really want, like I said. And when you're able to do that, your path in life becomes much more clear because you no longer have these obstacles or doubts on who you want to be or who you can be. And that goes back to everything I'm talking about, back to the beginning, is when you're able to connect with your inner self, nothing on the outside matters because you're no longer comparing yourself to this person or that person, but the future version of who you want to be and your current self. So there's like this flow of energy where you are appreciative for who you are and you can clearly see who you are becoming and who you will shortly be and already are. And there's no need for this external validation or wanting to compare yourself to others. And going back to where I started with the simple example of this room, this beautiful room that I am in, it wasn't until I just started picking things that I loved, not caring about what other people's rooms look like, and came in here and really connected with the piece that I wanted to establish and was able to visualize that I realized that there's no room like this. And that's where we're going, is there is no person like you. There is no feeling that you could crave from someone else that you cannot give yourself. There is no jealousy, there's no hate towards anybody else that you could have because you can do that for you. And when you have this mental clarity, when things are so peaceful for you and joyful and you're just filled with happiness, you're only focused on what you can give yourself and how excited you are to see where this life will bring you. And that is where you become inspired. So I'm sure at the beginning of this, you thought, oh, become inspired by other people, which yes, that's how we begin to find joy and love and happiness. But the truth in all of this is that life becomes so peaceful and beautiful when you inspire yourself every day, when you do things that you love, when you enjoy every moment. It's like today inspires your tomorrow. And that's really where I'm at in this journey. And it can feel very out of touch, but it starts with first appreciating and becoming inspired by all the little moments of joy and love that surround you. Not by the millionaires, not by the big houses, not by the fancy cars, but the emotions and the inner peace that you are so very much craving. Simplify your life. Become inspired by the small moments. And when you expect less of external validation or you're seeking something on the external, when you expect less of this, less happiness from physical things and a certain amount of money in your bank account, what the things that are on the external or the body that other people have, and you can love and appreciate all the things that your body's doing for now, you can apply it to any part of your life. When you expect less from the external and become solely focused on what's on the inside and achieving this inner peace, your life becomes more. Every aspect of it amplifies and grows into something so beautiful, you will not be able to explain it to others. It's just an amazing, beautiful feeling. So start really small. And it all starts with programming your mind. Every day, try to make it a habit, even if it's a forced habit, to find things, simple things that bring you joy and happiness. And what will happen over time is this forced habit just becomes something that's programmed into your mind. And one day you're just going to look and say, I don't need anything from the outside of me because it's all within. I don't need to compare myself to others because I'm confident in who I am. That's today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for coming and sharing your energy with me. I love you so very much, and a friendly reminder to not only be kind to others, but also to your beautiful, amazing self. I will see you on the next episode.